Another government scandal. Well. We're back again with news talk. This one is TD's claim over €567,000 in expenses for a month with one DAIL sitting. What the hell is happening, guys? I swear the spending is insane. The quicker we get a Doge for the Irish government, the better. Okay, this one's insane. Another ridiculous video. How could you spend over $500,000 in pints? Like straight alcoholics in the government, apparently. So this one's going to be insane. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's see what this news talk propaganda vision has to say. Let's hear it, guys.
More than €567,000 in expenses for December, the very first month of the new DAIL term, when the House sat on just one occasion. News Talk's political correspondent Sean Defoe was with me on the line today. Sean, how do the TD's expenses work, first of all?
Yeah, well, it's not bad when you put it like that, is it? To be able to claim thousands of euro a month when there was only one actual sitting day, and a sitting day where the only business was the election of Count Corla, with the negotiations, if you like, on the government formation talk still.
So it wasn't even for the full month. They only came to the DAIL once, and they spent 600,000. Holy Lord, my days! This is just outrageous, lads.
On going through it, so this allowances that they get, they're done monthly, and I suppose there's a lot of different allowances that they can get. Some for the likes of phones, and some for office space, etc. But the ones that we're talking about in these figures are their parliamentary standard allowance, is what it calls. There's two parts to that. One is an expense to cover the cost of their work as a TD, their work as a public rep. So that could be renting an office, it could be printing out leaflets, it could be for their website, different things like that. Now that's a vouched expense, and it has an annual limit, so they need to submit their receipts in order to get their payment, but typically it is paid on a monthly basis in line with the rest of it, so it's wrapped up in these figures. The other part of it is travel and accommodation costs, and this is weighted depending on how far away from Leinster House that they actually live. So
travel and expensive costs, that's insane. How, like, even how many is 160 people or whatever, maybe a little bit less. I'm not sure who are there on the day, because not everybody shows up to the DAIL on the day. You know what I'm saying? I know they try and do that, but not everybody shows up all the time. They're supposed to show up, you know, whatever. And they spent 567,000 on driving to the DAIL and getting hotels for the DAIL. Like, come on, lads.
So when you're talking about, for example, TDs from Dublin, they can get up to €9,000 a year for travel and accommodation, because obviously they're not going to be doing a huge amount of it. And on the far end, on band 12 of the 12 bands, which currently includes only one TD, Michael Collins, who lives in rural West Cork, that goes up to €34,000 a year. So that is for your, you know, travelling up a couple of times a week or whatever it is to Dublin.
It's your travelling. It's travelling. You're getting the money back for getting yourself to work.
To work and travel within the constituency for TDs is covered as well. So if you live in Donegal, say, and you need to travel to Fanad from Donegal town or wherever it is as part of your actual work of being a TD, you know, to meet people on the ground, whatever it is, for TDs, that's covered as well under this. And the accommodation, and this is quite a big one for a lot of TDs, obviously, because they would spend on a DAIL working week at least 2 nights in Dublin. If they're the party leaders or front benchers, it's often quite a bit more. So someone like Pierce Doherty would have quite high accommodation bills from hotel rooms, for example.
Well, it wouldn't be 600,000. A hotel room would cost like €100 max, 200. What the hell?
So this is what it covers: the kind of travel, the accommodation, and then the other incidental expenses that are borne by being a TD.
And none of that is paid out of the €113,000 salary that they receive annually.
Yeah.
No, that's entirely separate, and that is just their salary. So this is on top of everything.
That's insane. So they get paid 130,000 flat, right? And they get, on top of that, money for travel. Where are they traveling from? Zimbabwe? Like, where are they traveling from? Flipping China? Like, come on, lads. Come on. This is ridiculous. The travel's like, what, €50 max? Accommodation, €200 max? That's €250. Where are they getting 600,000 from?
And that's why they were able to get this money while there was only one sitting day in the month, because it is paid monthly. It doesn't matter, it's not vouched. You don't have to submit your receipts to say, well, yes, I actually did have 5 trips from Kerry to Dublin in that particular week or whatever it is.
Sorry, just to be clear, if I'm a TD, I can, and my constituency is in Donegal, I can say I travelled to Dublin for work and stayed in a hotel, and presumably, Sean, I have to produce a receipt for this.
No, you don't have to produce receipts for it. What you do have to do is log in at least 120 days physically in the DAIL. So that's the only thing.
Okay.
You don't even have to show proof for the amount of money that you spent. Oh, the corruption. And actually, this lady is fighting back. I think Newstalk are starting to fight back because they're starting to lose a lot of people watching because it's just completely a mouthpiece. But now they're starting to fight back a little bit.
Okay, so there'll be a roll call, basically.
Pretty well, yeah. It's like logging in when you go into work, like clocking in your time card used to be. You have to do that.
But I could stay with a friend
days.
or relative and
you could
claim my
100%
night's
stay with a
accommodation.
friend. Some of them have property in Dublin, have an apartment that's near particularly members of government. Now, if you are a minister, at least up until this particular government, you didn't get this allowance. You didn't get your accommodation covered, and we know that was something that the rural and regional independents negotiated into this programme for government, that they for the first time would get it, and it was a big bugbear for junior ministers because they might go from being a lowly backbencher to being a junior minister, coming with a 50 grand pay increase, and yet still be out money because they would suddenly lose all of the expenses that they were able to claim for hotels. But that's changed in this government.
So the junior ministers don't get that?
They do get it now.
They do.
They
Apologies.
Used to get it.
Okay,
yeah.
they do now. So can you just take us through?
Everybody gets paid. Don't worry. Everyone gets paid.
The figure, Sean, on this. So aside from the salary, we get the allowance for our accommodation per night if we're staying in paid for hotel accommodation. We get an allowance to physically get ourselves to Leinster House.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get an allowance for running our office in our constituency.
That's it. So you get, there's also, if you want to wrap in the other expenses that they get, so the public representative allowance includes, like I said, office rental, leaflet printing, web hosting, stuff like that. There's the TAA allowance, which allows you your travel and your accommodation. They get up to 8 grand for the establishment of a constituency office. So an awful lot of the new TDs are availing of that at the moment. They get €750 every 18 months to buy a phone, to upgrade their phone.
What?
€750 every year and a half to put towards a new phone. They get €400 for graphic design services
every year and a half.
Well, I suppose the thinking on it being that you're going to be updating with the latest technology. Look, let's be honest, most of them don't use it.
Right.
That is ridiculous, lads. I'm going to get elected to government someday and expose this. This is insane. Like, €750. Why would you need... I've had this phone that I bought for €200 off Swappy for the last 4 years. Why would you need a new phone? I don't understand.
Danny Gilly Ray is still using a phone. It's probably older than I am.
Very true.
That you hear in the toll. So a lot of them don't. But when they are upgrading their phone, and I suppose for some of them, the likes of the ministers, there is a point where it becomes a security concern that you probably need a newer phone that can't be hacked into.
Oh, come off it. As Piers Morgan said, come off it. That's nonsense. Flippin' security concern. Give me a break. They can't even secure a flippin' gym. They can't secure a gym flippin' pass, gym membership. Come on.
Then again, do you need €750 every 18 months when you're on a 6-figure salary? I don't know. And then, of course, there's the new expenses that came in the last few years, up to €25,000 for security measures at their home or office, provided they've had work done. That is obviously a vouched expense, as is the phone and as is the establishment.
Well, the security expenses would be okay because everybody hates them. So, you know what I mean? That's not too bad.
Committee office, they're ones that you have to put your receipts in for.
Yeah, so the €25,000 vouched expense. So that's if you want to put in CCTV or Ring doorbell or whatever.
25,000. What did she say? Hold on.
They're ones that you have to put your receipts in for.
Yeah, so the €25,000 vouched expense. So that's if you want to put in CCTV or Ring doorbell or whatever.
What? A Ring doorbell costs €50 from flipping Curry's, and CCTV costs like €1,000. Where's the 25,000 coming from? You could hire a flippin' ex-Green Beret, ex-Navy SEAL. I would literally hire an ex-Special Forces Irish Army soldier and just come watch my house at nighttime. Like, what the hell? €25,000?
Whatever,
Yeah,
electric gates or...
Electric gates, put in a shutter on the constituency office, whatever it is. They have to have a security assessment carried out before they can get that, and then have do the work and claim it back, essentially.
Come on.
And that's because of the rise in not only attacks on constituency offices, but also a number of cases where people have had people turn up at their homes or threatened to turn up at their homes. You had the Sinn Féin TD who had his car burnt out in Sligo Leitrim a couple of years ago. So that's one that's a relatively new one.
Yeah.
Well, that's not good, obviously. Like I said, just hire a flipping Marine or something, come watch your house.
Also, as well, I note even too. I think Holly Cairns is mentioned, isn't she? The Social Democrat leader in the list of claimants today, because she's on obviously maternity leave at the moment.
This drew quite a lot of eyebrows because she is in one of the highest brackets as well. So like I said, there's 12 brackets. She's in bracket 11 because she does live in rural West Cork. And as you mentioned, on maternity leave throughout December, and yet got her allowance of €4,478. Now, there's two sides to this. One is, look, should you be getting it if you're not actually going to the Dáil or doing anything? Probably not. But
you shouldn't be getting money if you're not working. I don't know where the hell they get off saying this, guys. This is crazy.
The other hand, so backwards is the Dáil's rules for maternity leave. And when I say so backwards, they don't have any. There is no legislation to allow maternity leave for TDs at the minute. That there's actually no mechanism to take this away from her. Now, what I imagine you could see, because they can gift this back or they cannot claim this allowance, that is entirely within the gift of these politicians. So we may well see Holly Cairns give some of that money back, because obviously she wasn't travelling to Dublin and availing of accommodation through the month of December.
Yeah, it's the travel and accommodation expenses. I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it there, guys. Ireland needs a Doge. Absolutely insane. If you don't think that, you're ludicrous. The entire establishment knows that the spending of money has gone insane, and all that money is paid for by you. The taxpayer, okay? The taxpaying money, it's insane. That is completely overspending, in my opinion. I love you guys all. If you want to help support me, hit that join button so I can push back against these things and I can expose them a little bit more to the people of Ireland, because it's good to kind of get this message out here. I don't think anybody else on YouTube is doing that. Only like 3 other people on YouTube are doing it. Okay, very, very few people are making the content like I'm making. So make sure to hit that join link. Support me with a membership. I love you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.